Importing involves a lot of risks and challenges. One of the biggest challenges that you have is ensuring that your import is not rejected by the CBP, because this could mean financial losses and damage to your reputation as an importer. Hello, importers. It's Juan Lara, and today I'm going to give you some valuable tips on how to ensure that your import is not rejected by the CBP, the US Customs and Border Protection. As an entrepreneur and a business owner, I understand the importance of getting your products on time in the market. Now, but before we start, let me tell you that the last part of this video, I'm going to talk about 3 different programs from the CBP that can help you a lot with the import process. So stay tuned. So what exactly is customs compliance? In a nutshell, it's following the rules and regulations set by the CBP during the importing process. It's your responsibility as an importer to make sure you are covering all the bases. The first step is to understand the regulations set by the CBP. Make sure you are aware of the specific rules and requirements of your product to import into the United States. Do your research, read up on the regulations, and make sure you are fully compliant. Customs compliance essentially covers 3 aspects. First, identification and classification of the imported goods. Second, tariffs and duties calculations that the imports entail. And 3, licenses, application, and registration if required. For instance, food and medicine need to be registered with the FDA, but there are other agencies that also need, depending on the product, that you need to register with. As an importer, you need to have a solid understanding of these regulations. And I'm going to give you 2 basic examples. First one, proper labeling. If the goods must be marked, make sure that your labels are clear, legible, and marked in the manner required. In some cases, the labeling should include the name and address of the manufacturer, the country of origin, and the content of the package. The second example is the correct documentation. Make sure that you have all the necessary documentation for the shipment, such as the commercial invoice, the packing list, and any other required certificates or licenses. Some people think that the quote is valid for the import. No, you need the invoice. That's the one that the CBP requires. The documentation should be complete, accurate, and in compliance with the CBP regulations. Let me give you 3 tips that can help you in the importing process. The first one, use a reputable freight forwarder. Why? Freight forwarders know the process, can help you, can advise you. They know the documentation. They can tell you in advance if your product needs some kind of requirement, special license or something like that. So, and if something arises during the process, they can guide you how to solve it. My second tip is to plan ahead. So give yourself plenty of time to prepare the shipment, to have all the documentation, to make sure you have all the registration if necessary, the labeling, that you're in full compliance, so you can minimize any risk of having issues when the goods arrive to the United States. My third tip is stay informed. The CBP usually publishes new regulations, new rulings of different products. So just subscribe to their newsletters or go and visit their webpage. Keep up to date in the new rulings of the products that you are interested in. Until now, we have been talking about understanding and adhering to the CBP regulations, but you are not by yourself. The CBP has 3 different programs that can help you stay in compliance with your imports. The first one is the reasonable care. The second one is the importer's self-assessment. And the third one is the focus assessment program. So I'm going to explore them and let you know how can you benefit from them in the next few minutes. Reasonable care. We have talked about it in previous videos. And what it is a voluntary program that gives you a framework, a methodology to avoid compliance issues when importing and make sure you got your responsibilities straight. We all know that each import or product is different and has its own circumstances. So what the CBP encourages is for you to go and see all the questions in this program and make sure that the ones that apply to you, you are in compliance with them. So you have like your own customized compliance program. And it's very good. And actually, if the CBP visits you in the future, you can tell them, look, I did all these and that can help you dealing with them. The second program is the importer self-assessment. It's also voluntary, but in this case, you do a partnership with the CVP. You go to a platform that to help you manage your imports, access training and education, and track your compliance. So, as the reasonable care, it's voluntary. It's a win-win situation because it's help you and it saves times and reduce risks and ensure compliance with your imports. The difference between this one and the importer self-assessment and the reasonable care is that this one is in partnership with the CVP. The focus assessment is the third program. It's a comprehensive audit. This is not voluntary. This is an audit from the CVP that want to make they want to make an assessment in the importer's internal control over its import activities to determine if the importer possesses an acceptable risk for complying with CVP laws and regulations. So it has like 3 steps. The first one is a pre-assessment survey. The second one is an assessment compliance testing. And the third one is a follow-up audit. The way that they do is first, how they select where they're going to audit is based on volume and value of their entries. And of course, if they see in their data that there are some risk areas, they can choose you too. The first part in the survey, what they do is they look for the classification, valuation, free trade agreements, special duty-free provisions, or anti-dumping, countervailing duties. So they go through your internal controls and analysis of their entries. If they found there are risks, they will move into what they call the transactional testing, which includes requesting sample entry documents and reviewing a company financial records. If no significant risk is found, then they just give an opinion, an audit opinion, that's the way it's called, and there are no penalties, no problems. It's a green light, so no problem at all. But if the risk is found, then they'll go with you and make an improvement plans to prevent similar errors in the future. So this one is not voluntary. It's an audit from the CVP. That's the difference between the first 2 programs. So this is it for today. Thank you for joining us. We talked about the customs compliance, understanding and adhering to the CVP regulations. And we also talk about the 3 programs from the CVP that can help you stay in compliance with your import process. I hope you like the video. That if you have questions, please reach out, comment, subscribe to our channel, and see you soon talking more about how to import into the United States. Bye-bye.